Welcome to a creative and cultural hub of California, downtown and West Oakland. Nestled along the bay, this neighborhood sits between the downtown core, Jack London, and the Port of Oakland. Here you'll find warehouses turned art spaces, local vendors, skate parks, and a diverse, tight-knit community. Oakland gets a bad rap in the media. Stories of violence drown out its creativity and care. Growing up here, I've always been confused by that narrative. What if we framed Oakland by its assets rather than its deficits, by its people? The freeway system in West Oakland is more than a transportation network. It's a lasting imprint of structural racism. Built through historically black and immigrant neighborhoods, these corridors were designed to divide. West Oakland is separated from downtown by I-980, and Oakland as a whole is separated from its waterfront along nearly its entire length by I-880. What we gained in convenience, West Oakland paid for in health, opportunity, and connection. But what did West Oakland used to look like? Historically, West Oakland was a diverse and self-sufficient community shaped by railroads, port work, and migration. 7th Street was a cultural and economic hub, even being called the Harlem of the West. But beginning in the 1930s, redlining, urban renewal, and the freeway construction ripped apart that fabric. The construction of Highway 980 cut directly through the established neighborhoods, displacing residents and severing West Oakland's connection to downtown. These actions left lasting conditions that are still visible today: a fragmented, car-dominated urban environment, deep economic and housing inequalities, and significant environmental and health disparities. Today, priorities are shifting. Across the country, cities are rethinking their highways, removing them, reusing them, and returning land to people. Highway 980 has been named one of the 10 worst freeways, and despite being 18 lanes wide in places, it carries less than a quarter of its capacity. It spans nearly 500 feet wide at its widest point, stretches 4.5 miles, and when combined with the Howard Terminal extension, is nearly 146 acres. With Caltrans beginning a feasibility study, we have an opportunity to rethink this infrastructure. My project, Stitch, asks, how can we transform divisive infrastructure into cultural landscapes that rebuild ownership, connection, and opportunity? This project doesn't start with a master plan. It starts with people. I've spent the last few months learning directly from West Oakland residents through 3 main engagement efforts. First, I attended Caltrans community workshops. Those sessions were structured, data-heavy, and focused on identifying priorities for the corridor. I heard people talk about safety, mobility, air quality, the lack of green space, and how disconnected West Oakland feels from downtown. Secondly, looking through the Caltrans Vision 980 study report, which gathered input from over 2,000 people, helped me see the shared priorities that I heard echoed in workshops, especially around housing, stability, cultural preservation, small business support, and the need for safer, slower streets. Finally, and maybe most importantly, I volunteered at the 980 block party. That event felt totally different. It was informal, social, and grounded in lived experience. Talking one-on-one with residents, I heard personal stories about growing up in West Oakland, the impact of disinvestment, and what people want this space to look and feel like. It helped me understand not just the issues, but values: connection, culture, music, food, and community pride. Across all 3 types of engagement, the same needs came up again and again and have become my goals: reconnecting neighborhoods, improving safety and mobility, addressing health, protecting cultural identity, expanding affordable housing, and creating public spaces that actually serve residents. Stitch transforms these 146 acres of freeway into a connected spine for community, culture, and ecology. 3 concepts guide this vision. First, mobility, restoring movement across West Oakland. By reestablishing safe, walkable connections across the highway, mobility becomes a tool for economic vitality and equal access. Second, nodes, creating cultural and economic gathering points. In the 500-foot wide trench, Stitch imagines places where history is honored, opportunities grow, and communities gather. Third is portal, reconnecting Oakland to big nature. At Howard Terminal, where 980 meets 880 and access stops, Stitch envisions a public threshold between city and bay, a portal to water, ecology, and reflection. Together, these concepts transform this corridor into a place people can use daily, a space woven back into the rhythm of city life. Imagine the city's edges meeting again, not through cars, but through people. It's not a design for Oakland, but with Oakland, a framework for healing, reconnection, and everyday life.